Welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture, we'll just be recapping on all of the elements that we've learned in previous lectures. So in previous lectures, we've already learned about headings. We've already learned about paragraphs and lists and images. So how about we make a small mini project combining all these elements into a small little website. So here I have some information in the right panel here. This information will be about a platypus. Um, so let's just get started here. Let's start off with a heading, and let's just say H1 platypus. All right. So that'll be my first heading, right? Main heading. And then here I could have like a subheading. Could just name it introduction or something. So introduction. And then I could just add a paragraph here, which I'll just copy and paste just to demonstrate how this works. So yeah, I could just copy this and paste this here. There we go. And let's just say I wanted to have an image at the bottom here. I could just say img. That's important to note that an image file will usually be like inline. It will be inline instead of um, going to the very next line. Well, it depends on where the image is. If the image was here, for instance. So let's just say image, and I want to have my first image. So where did I store my first image? Here. It's called image one, and it's a JPG file, and it's quite large in dimensions. So perhaps I could make it 300 pixels instead. So I could just say src equals say it was image one. You must get the file name correct and the type of extension, JPG in this case. And then we say the height is equal to, let's just say 300 pixels. Maybe I could, yeah, 300 pixels just to see how it works. So if I make it 300 pixels, it should also scale down, and it should keep the aspect ratio as was previously discussed. So now let's go to a next paragraph here. Paragraph. And let's just see here. If we look at this paragraph, it says narrative paragraph. So let's just copy this and make it a subheading. Namely H2 here, H2. And then we just make it a subheading here like this. And let's just copy some stuff here. In fact, just before I copy that stuff, I just want to make sure that this right here will be our list. So this will be a list for demonstration purposes. I'm going to make this a list, and I'm going to make this up here a paragraph. So I'm going to come here, make this a paragraph. And before I actually make it a paragraph, yeah, I already have the subheading here. Now I can just add a list. I can amend the list towards the end of this paragraph. So I could just make it an ordered list. If you recall, it's OL. And then LI, which stands for list item. LI. I could just copy this. How many list items do we need? Let's see here. So we have, how's the platypus hunt? And then we have something like desert water. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 4 list items, right? 4. And I could just add here. I could just make this a subheading, or a third subheading, right? Second level, a third level subheading. So let's go here, and I just enclose this with H3, H3, and then now I just have to just copy and paste the relevant list items. Let's just see. Doesn't water. So then we do the next one. Place it in the tag, and then all right. here, and finally we can just do this one here, and then here. Okay, so I'm gonna save this here. Then I'm gonna just see how it looks. So what do we have so far? Let me just come here. Okay, well I have to save it as HTML in the first place. So save it as lecture6.html, lecture6.html, and there we go. Alrighty, so there it is now. There's the HTML file. We just open this. Okay, there we go. So that's our website here. See, we have our descriptive, we have our unordered list, or ordered list rather, and we have our paragraphs here, just copied and pasted. So this is a very simple website. And now, how about, okay, we could just remove this here. So we looked at the list, we looked at the images, we looked at paragraphs. Paragraphs is the P tag here. And what else did we cover in previous lectures? So in previous lectures, we also covered the horizontal rule. So perhaps I could just put a horizontal rule here. Horizontal rule. And then I just close this. And then after I put a horizontal rule, perhaps I can add another paragraph. So go to the information site here, and what do I call this paragraph? Let me just call it persuasive paragraph. And I'll use the second level header again. So H2H2, let's do this. And I just copy the stuff here. All right, we just come here and then we just go P paragraph tag, and then we just copy it here and save it. Perhaps we can add another image. Here's the trick about images, which I wanted to show you. SRC, we had an image 2 previously. So we have image2.jpg. JPG, just say alt, also alt for search engine optimization, accessibility, and so on, as was previously mentioned. So platypus or something, platypus. Oh, I'm not so sure if I spelled that correctly. Platypus image. Oh, platypus swimming, say. All right. Here I just want to make a demonstration here. Let's just save this, and now I'm just going to refresh my page here. All right, narrative paragraph. So remember, look at our third header here. It's much smaller in font size, as was previously mentioned. And here, this images are way too big too. So we could just add another attribute, namely the height here. I just want to make it 300 pixels, as we did previously here. 300 pixels. PX, and there you go. Alrighty, and yeah, that's it. That's it. And here we have a horizontal rule, and this corresponds to a horizontal rule that we defined here. Then we have our image here, which goes down, and we can also add just more line breaks. If you recall, our line break is BR break rule. Our break rule, just adding 2 line breaks, and here we should see our line space. Right? Perfect. And that's how you combine all the elements that we learned so far to create just a small, like, mini project